This Sunday, WVU will be opening its 2011 football season as the Thundering Herd of Marshall University come to Morgantown. I'm Greg Larry for HampshireReview.com. The relationship between these two schools has been a bit of an unusual rivalry. Both are West Virginia schools with a rich history, but the similarities pretty much end there, with WVU being looked at as the bigger, flush with money prime time program, who is annoyed by their little stepbrother with their small stadium in Huntington, Marshall. We decided to hit the road here in Hampshire County and talk to the residents and see what they think about this rivalry between WVU and Marshall University. This Sunday we have WVU playing Marshall. What do you think about this rivalry of these two teams? Is this something that's good for the state and should it continue?
Absolutely. The Friends of Cole Bowl, they have a lot of promotion bringing the two teams together. It's a big deal. They started playing again for the first time after, I think it's like a 20-year break. It's nothing on the magnitude of Ohio State, Michigan, or Texas A&M. But, it brings everyone in the state together for a common goal, and it's a nice time for everyone to get together and just watch a good football game. Last year was a really intense, close game, and of course the Mountaineers came out on top, and hopefully that's what's going to happen again this year.
Do you think Marshall has much of a chance Sunday?
Well, I think anytime you step on the football field, you have a chance. It's all about heart and desire, and we had a former Trojan that played on the Marshall team, so I know they recruit good guys, but got to go with the Mountaineers this week.
So my parents couldn't send me to WVU. It was probably the biggest regret of my life, but it doesn't really matter. It's not the school's team, it's the state's team.
I'm here at the Sports Connection. I've got Rick and his son Brett with me, and they are, as you can tell by looking at their t-shirts and hats, WVU fans. And in the front of the shirt is Crush Huntington Community College, and then on the back, as they turn around, you can see Silence the Annoying Little Brother. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yep.
Are you going to the game, or you just wear this around the house and watching the game?
We never miss. He's never missed a game since he was probably 2. I haven't missed a game since the late 70s.
Really?
So,
and you're a student?
I just graduated back in August.
Yeah, we're all going. The whole family's going. I've got a dozen shirts I have to go in here and pay for. And for all of us, we're having a big Beat the Herd party on Saturday, and then off to Morgantown to Beat the Herd on Sunday.
What's your feelings about this rivalry?
Well, it really isn't a rivalry. We're 10-0 against Marshall. We used to kind of actually root for Marshall back when they were in 1AA, but it was kind of us as the varsity team and them as the JV team. And when they moved up to Division I, they started to think that they were equals, and it got annoying. Some of the comments coming out of their administration and their fan base became very annoying, very derogatory toward West Virginia University. So it's become a point where we just don't want any part of it anymore. Marshall, it doesn't really matter to what WVU. And we have Pitt, we have South Florida now as rivals, playing Maryland again. So we don't need Marshall. No matter who we have at home, we sell out. And Marshall sells out one game a year, us, because 40% of the fans are WVU fans. And it's their Super Bowl. And after Sunday, they'll fade into oblivion, and West Virginia will move on to play LSU, Maryland, Pitt, and all the other big-time programs we play. So,
Brett, what do you think about it?
Yeah, their two biggest crowds in history are our games at their place. They haven't sold out their new stadium in the seat edition till we go there. So
they really kind of should drop off the schedule, or?
And we'll play them one more time next year, but it'll be 12-0 then. 12-0 is no rivalry. We used to think we were Penn State's rival, and we went 27 years without beating them. So we really weren't Penn State's rival. We thought we were, but we weren't. And they think we're a rivalry, and we're not. They play nobody else that matters. They'll get 15,000, 20,000 people at a home game. That's a small time program.
Okay, I'm with Reno Leone here. Got the big game Sunday, Marshall and WVU. What do you think about the rivalry between these two teams?
I think it's a terrific thing for the state. Both good for both schools. And since it's been mandated by the state legislature, I think it's something that I think the people like. Well, I wish West Virginia would play Penn State and make it a real rivalry, but Marshall, West Virginia, I guess is okay.
And does Marshall stand a chance, you think?
Well, it depends now. They got the new coach down there that left West Virginia, and I can't think of his name right now. Doc Holliday, right.
Oh, okay.
And you know that Doc Holliday applied one time to Hampshire High School to be football coach?
No.
Little known trivia question, or little known trivia.
No,
Doc Hall,
that's
they one time applied, long time
No
ago.
kidding. Oh,
No.
all right.
But anyway, I think it's great for everybody.
Okay, we're here at B Bells, and we have Kathy Kirkendall. How are you doing, Kathy?
Wonderful. It's almost football season.
It's coming up close. We also have Herb Adrian helping us out here. He is signing. And can you introduce the three gentlemen you have back there?
We have with us my Pro Start cooking class. This is Deshaun, Jonathan, and William.
WVU pride.
Very good.
Kathy, what do you think about this rivalry?
It is a big deal at my house. My family, almost all, are WVU fans. My mom went to WVU, 4 of her kids, but the youngest one went to Marshall. So we have a little bit of a conflict, but we support both schools and enjoy the game.
Does Marshall have a chance on Sunday?
Oh no, no opportunity at all.
That's what we expect to hear from a WVU fan right there. What do you think about the rivalry? Do you think it's good for the state of West Virginia and something that they should continue in the future?
I think it's nice to get the states together as long as the scores don't get too far apart.
Good luck, WVU. How about go Marshall? Anybody?
Marshall, go.
I think the Marshall West Virginia University football game and the Capital Classic basketball game are good for the state of West Virginia. I know there's a lot of passion on both sides of the ball, and a lot of my WVU brethren are dismissive of Marshall University. It's a great school. They have not typically been competitive in football, although they gave us a big scare last year in Huntington. We're only scheduled to play 2 more games this year and in 2012 in Morgantown, and it appears the series will take an extended hiatus after that, given the uncertainties surrounding the conference realignment. And I think it's kind of sad. I think once passions subside a little bit and the game is not played for a few years, folks on both sides may reconsider their positions, and we may get something out of that. You have to remember, this series only came about because former Governor Manchin locked everybody in a room and twisted arms until this contract was completed. Without his intervention, I don't think this series would have ever occurred. I think that the series could continue in some manner. I'm not sure that a home-and-home is called for, given that Joan C. Edwards Stadium in Huntington holds half as many people as Mountaineer Field in Morgantown. So typically that deprives 30,000 West Virginians of the opportunity to see the game live. Having said that, I still think West Virginia should occasionally go to Huntington, maybe a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, something like that, if that can be worked out.
They will always pack the stadium because essentially we're the 2 major college teams in the state. From my understanding now is that after next year it'll be difficult to continue the rivalry because of scheduling and so forth. Oliver Luck has mentioned that, but my suggestion would be to have a preseason game, have a game every year with Marshall and WVU, and because I think the fans will miss it, if we don't. And I don't think revenue should be the driving force behind this. I think it should be just the spirit of the game, a fun game that both teams can get together.
Herb, thank you for your time. We're here at B Bells, who has got some incredible selection of WVU. I don't see a lot of Marshall stuff here, but that's the way it goes around our area, right?
Absolutely, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be here with Linda Corbin and JD, the owners and operators of Bell Boutiques. And please stop by and see some of the wonderful things that Linda has here. She has an assortment of memorabilia second to none.